Hey guys, it's Julian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make dark warehouse techno like Remco Beekwilder. As usual, you can get the full project file and samples and MIDI and presets. All of that stuff in this video is available right at the top of the description, and if you're a patron on my Patreon, check there because it's already available. And yeah, let's dive in. So, this loop you heard in the intro, we're at 133 BPM. First sound we got going on here is the lead, which sounds like this. So for the notes, it's really simple. It's just F sharp and F. You know, usually with this style of techno, you don't want to go too crazy with the melodics because it's more about having something that's rhythmic and melodic rather than, just having the melody be the main thing for everybody. But you can hear this plays really well off of the kick. It has a lot of energy to it while still saying everything we need to say with just two notes. So yeah, and then for the sound with this one, it's made using analog. You can see we just got two saw waves here, detuned a bit, pretty standard respace sort of sound. And then I've got those going into a low pass, which is set like this. I don't have an envelope on it, but listen to this without the low pass. And then with it. So with it, you get a little bit of a darker and more like raw sound. And yeah, then we got the amp envelope set like this, and then finally I just have a little bit of vibrato, a little bit of unison, and then after that we have this chorus to kind of spread the sound out a bit. This without it. And with it, you can see I have the feedback up a lot, so that's kind of adding this like overtone, which I think sounds really cool with this. After that, we have two echoes. So what's happening here is we have one doing 16th notes and one doing 8th notes. The one doing 16th notes is on this mid-side setting, so that on its own, you can hear it's just doing like a quick like da-da-da. And then this 8th note echo here is on ping-pong mode, so that's giving us those stereo delays. So stacking delays is a really good way to make leads like this sound really cool and interesting. You know, it's like when you only have two notes playing, if you do stuff like this, it's going to add a lot more texture and character to the sound and make it work with only two notes. After that, we have a bit of reverb, just gives it more space. Without it. And then with it, and then finally we just have some drum bus to fatten the sound up. This is also bringing out the reverb and the echo a bit. And then the last thing on here is just this EQ8 here, which is doing a bit of a high pass. And then I have it cutting at 211 hertz as well as boosting a bit there. So just kind of shaping the sound. Here's without this. And then with it. And yeah, that's it for the lead. After that we have this dark pad, which sounds like this. So you can see this is just playing two notes as well. It's the same two notes that the lead was playing, just F and F sharp. And then what's happening here is basically for a bar, it'll play just the F, and then in the next bar, it brings on the F sharp. So you get like this ominous pad, and then you get those two notes kind of clashing, but it sounds very musical. With this, this is just kind of creating like this very uneasy and dark sort of atmosphere in the background of the track. And again, really simple, just two notes, but that's all you really need to tell the story with this one. With this sound, it's made with analog. You can see it's actually same oscillators as the lead. It's just two saw waves, detuned a little bit. Got those going into a low pass, which is set like this. Here's without the low pass. And then with it, so it just makes it a bit darker. Then we got the amp envelope set like that. And then finally, I just have a bit of unison inside of analog. And that's it for inside the synth. After that, we have a bit of chorus to spread the sound out a little. And then this echo and reverb. These are all three pretty much, working toward this, like just kind of spreading the sound out and giving it some space. Here's without any of these. And then with the chorus, so you can hear what that does. Then with the echo, you can hear what that does. We've got it on the ping pong setting, so it's pretty wide. And then the reverb just gives it the last little touch of ambience. And yeah, and then the only other thing on there is this auto pan, which you can see I've got it on quarter notes, and then I've got the phase down to 0, so it's just affecting the volume. And this is making it sort of pump as if it's being sidechained to the kick. And yeah, that's it for the dark pad. After that we have the kick, which sounds like this. So this is honestly a pretty standard rumble kick. The main thing that makes a difference with this one is just the type of kick that you put into it. If you listen to this sample, You know, already the sample has like a nice crunchy, fat kind of texture to it. So we're just adding a rumble and accentuating that a little. So the first effect here is this audio effect rack. You can see this has two chains. We've got the punch, which has a bit of saturation on it. There's without it and with it. With this style of kick also, this analog clip down here with saturator can go a long way, like just kind of dialing that in. Because you can hear without it, it's not quite as tight sounding. And then the second chain inside of this audio effect rack here is the rumble. So what's going on here is we just have a reverb, and then put that into the amp, which as you can hear makes it mono, and it's also distorting it a bit and bringing out that low end. And then we low pass it and get just the rumble. And there we go. And then I have a compressor side chaining this to the dry kick. And this EQ, which you can hear, just kind of focuses a little bit more on the low end. And yeah, that's it. The rumble is not that hard to make, but with this style, you definitely want to go for more of a reverb rumble than like a delay rumble like I use a lot. After that, we just have a bit of drum bus on everything. Here's without it. And then with it, you can see it's not really doing too much. We just have the drive up like that, got the transients up, and then I have the boom up a bit as well to bring out the low end. And then we just have this EQ8 here, which is just boosting the lows a little bit more. Just to make those a little bit stronger. And yeah, and then that's it for the kick. And then the last thing we have here are these cymbals, which sound like this. So the first one is the open hi-hat. So the main thing with this open hi-hat is just kind of like the type of sound and then the way you program it. Like it's this very tight, fast, open hi-hat like this. And then because we have a ride doing straight eighth notes, you know, the ride is playing on the upbeat. We have this kind of like see, it's not exactly the same pattern as you would usually do with an open hi-hat like this, because usually the open hi-hat would just be always on the same beat every time, but this just kind of mixes it up a little bit and makes it a little bit more exciting to listen to. Then we have the ride, which sounds like this. Pretty simple stuff, you know, it's just 909 ride, and then the pattern is what really makes the difference here. The way we have this, like the velocities are getting bigger. Another thing with this one is I have it high passed a bit, so here's without the high pass filter. And then with it, we already have a bit of EQ on the group, so it's cutting out most of the low end, but with these kinds of sounds, you definitely need to take some time and high pass them, because if you don't, you can hear, like, there's just a lot of nasty, like, low and mid-range frequencies that you really don't want in a sound like this. But yeah, and then the last symbol we have here is this closed hi-hat, which sounds like this. So this is a little bit different from the pattern you usually use with this style of track, because, you know, usually like in techno it would just be, but with this it's more, and it's a little bit more like machine-like. And aggressive this way, and it's like if you had the part of the track where there isn't the ride, you know, there's a little bit more nuance there in the hi-hats where it's not just the whole way through. And that's very popular in the style of techno. And yeah, and then on the group of cymbals, I just have a bit of drum bus and an EQ. So here's without the drum bus, here's without either of these. And then with drum bus, you can hear it makes it a lot fatter. And the EQ is just doing a low or a high pass filter, cutting out the low end, and then boosting the highs there. And yeah, so pretty simple. You know, it's really just about getting like nice cymbals like this, put some processing on them to kind of glue them together, EQ them a little, and there it is. It's pretty simple. The style of techno in general is pretty simple. It's just about making a few really good elements that can carry the track. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get the full project file and samples and MIDI and presets. Everything from this video is available right at the top of the description, and if you're a patron on my Patreon, check there because it's already available. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.